A very good afternoon to everyone present. I, Nimisha Sharma, on behalf of Juristudy, welcome you all to yet another Sunday conference on a burning topic of live-in relationships. As we all know, the Supreme Court has ordered protection to those who were denied relief by the Punjab and Haryana High Court. So, to get a better understanding of that, we hope this session is fruitful and knowledgeable. We at Juristily bring an online networking and social media platform for legal professionals meetups where various legal professionals from different regions and countries can meet on this platform. Users around the world can find legal professionals on their fingertips for free or nominal charges. We are proud to say that we are the first of our kind having a unique concept to achieve the goals of the legal fraternity. We aim to change the concept of keeping records with our litigation MIS system, no more bulky diaries. Now, I would like to introduce our speaker for the day. Mr. A. Ansari, founder of Ansari Solicitor Firm, founded his firm in the year 2006 with the dedication to serve its clients with trust, excellence, and collaboration. With the team of professional lawyers, is dedicated to the clients, offering them expert services, the emphasis to ensure that clients have access to everyday progress. Their professional team of advocates are an expert in handling complex and contentious litigations prior to higher court and trial courts in Gujarat state, including commercial courts. They have a long-standing client relation that has built based on knowledge, quality of service, as well as the experience they have in addressing the client's needs. The firm is structured around the subsequent legal and solicitation front. Punctuality, promptness, and best practices are the strength of the firm. And we have the privilege to have you here with us, sir. And now I present to you Mr. Ansari. So you may take this forward. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Here, today's topic is live-in relationship and its legal implications. Recently, the things are changing fast and couples have started living together in a single household, even without being married. Such relationship may be for a brief period or may continue for a considerable period of time. If the cohabitation continues for a prolonged period, it seems live-in relationship. Now, live-in relationship may be defined as continuous cohabitation for specified period of time between partners who are not married to each other in a legally acceptable way and are residing in a shared household. There are various judgments of the Supreme Court because in the country there is no enacted rules or laws or acts which defines the living relationships or its implications and the right of children born out of this relationship. And therefore we have to consider various Supreme Court judgments while deciding any matters. Even up till now, the Supreme Court is deciding the various matters on the basis of different facts of the case. It has been started from the year 1978 in the case of Badri Prasad versus Deputy Director of Consolidation. It has been held by the Supreme Court that if man and woman who live as husband and wife in society are compelled to prove after half a century of wedlock by eyewitnesses evidence that they were validly married 50 years earlier, only few will succeed. A strong presumption arises in favor of wedlock where the partners have lived together for a long spell as husband and wife. Although the presumption is rebuttable, a heavy burden lies on him who seeks to deprive the relationship of its legal origin. There is another landmark judgment of the year 1992, that is between SPS Bala Subramaniam, in which it was observed that where a man and a woman live together as husband and wife for a long time, presumption under the law would be in favor of their being legally married to each other unless proved to the contrary. And children born out of such live-in relationship would be entitled for inheritance in the property of parents. Here the Supreme Court hasn't said that the children born out of this relationship would be entitled for the grandparents' property also. Here specifically it is said that in the property of the parents, which must be the self-acquired property of the parents. Now, another landmark judgment is of 2006, Lata Singh versus State of UP, in which it was held by the Supreme Court that relation between the two consenting adults of opposite sex through perceived as immoral doesn't amount to any offense under the law. This judgment has been used mostly in the cases of getting the police protection. Recently, the Punjab and Haryana High Court, in one matter wherein the girl and the boy both were of marriageable age, held that they are not entitled for the protection, in which the Punjab and Haryana High Court says, while dismissing the petition, said that there is danger of their life from the parents. However, as a matter of fact, the petitioners, in the garb of filing the present petition, are seeking the seal of approval of their living relationship, which is morally and socially not acceptable, and no protection order can be passed in such petition, and therefore the petition was dismissed. There are various judgments of the Supreme Court. In fact, in this case also the party went to the Supreme Court and obtained the police protection. However, the Supreme Court has remained silent on other aspects, whether this comment over the fact that this is morally and socially not acceptable. That has not been made. In the year 2008, three judges bench of the Supreme Court has said that the adult had a right to live together even without marriage. It had made this clear while asserting that a 20-year-old Kerala woman whose marriage had been annulled could choose whom she wanted to live with. And there are other various judgments also. In fact, the living relationship is the relationship between the two consenting adults, which is not considered as illegal. And if the couple present themselves to the society as husband and wife and live together without marriage for a significant period of time, their relationship is considered in the nature of marriage. And therefore, whosoever is saying that they have not performed the marriage, the burden lies on the person who is saying that they are not married. Consequently, a female partner is also entitled for the alimony under the provisions of the Domestic Violence Act, as well as under 125 under section 125 of the CRPC also. And the children born out of such relationship are also considered as legitimate and are entitled to get share in the self-acquired property of their parents, though they are not entitled for the co-partner's share in the Hindu undivided family. Now there are various cases which arises out of this thing. The most important cases arise is for getting the police protection, wherein the a couple went to the police and thereafter went directly to the High Court and seeks police protection. Most of the time they are granted the police protection on the ground that they are legally entitled to live with the person of their choice. However, in most of the cases, this has been delayed or it has been refused. But the Supreme Court has very categorically says that when they are entitled, they should be granted police protection. In fact, the matter should not have been reached to the High Court. Even the police department should have made such efforts, whereby they can grant police protection directly to the couples. As far as the Supreme Court, there are various guidelines of the Supreme Court. One such very important guideline was given in the judgment of D. Veluswamy versus D. Pachaimal, that in which the Supreme Court says that the couple must hold themselves out to society as being akin to spouse. The second guideline was that they must be of a legal age to marry, meaning thereby the boy must be 21 minimum and the girl must be 18 minimum. So it will not be like a contract act wherein only two persons having the age of 18 years can come into the agreement of and start living together. Here this judgment categorically says that the boy must be 21 years. They must be otherwise qualified to enter into legally marriage, including being unmarried. So the person who is going to reside in a living relationship, he must be or she must be unmarried. And they must have voluntarily cohabited and held themselves out to the world as being akin to spouses for a significant period of time. There are various other judgments also in which the Supreme Court has declined the relief also. That is, one such judgment is Indira Sharma versus V.K. Sharma, in which the Supreme Court has said that such relationship may endure for a long time and can result in a pattern of dependency and vulnerability. An increasing number of such relationship calls for adequate and effective protection, especially to the women and children born out of that living relationship. Here in this case, the legislature, of course, cannot promote premarital sex, though at times such relationships are intensively personal and people may express their opinion for and against. Thus, the parliament has to ponder over those issues and bring in proper legislation to make proper amendments of the act so that the woman and the children born out of such relationships are protected, not only from the physical force or physical assaults of a society or any relatives, but also in a various other manners, like maintenance also, like inheritance also. There are many cases in which, suppose if the father has expired and he was a government servant, then what about his pension, his gratuity, his provident fund? Whether the wife who is recently started residing will get it. And therefore, there are various questions which the Supreme Court is deciding on a case-to-case basis. There is no judgment which says that, oh, in this particular situation, this thing will happen. In this particular situation, this thing will happen. And therefore, the Supreme Court or the High Courts, whosoever is conducting the cases, is deciding all cases on a fact-to-fact basis, because there is no rules or laws made by the Parliament. Now, there are other two sections also, that is section 494 and 495 of the IPC, which prohibits any marriage of person within the lifetime of his or her husband or wife, and even makes it punishable offense unless it is permitted by the personal law of the concerned person. Therefore, in a live-in relationship of a married man with a woman, of a married man which cannot a man cannot be recognized in the nature of marriage, as it is expressly prohibited by the law. Now, the recent scenario which my law firm is seeing is this wise, that there is a dispute between the husband and wife. The wife is residing separately, the husband is residing separately. And what they do, they start living together with some other person under the grasp of this live-in relationship agreement. Now, as per the Supreme Court judgment, that would be illegal. That would not be legal thing, and the person who is residing will not get any benefit out of it, either in case of maintenance or in case of inheritance. But again, the children born out of such things will be held to be legitimate child. They will not be considered as illegitimate child. There are various provisions under the US laws, under the Europe laws, which recognize these things. As far as India is concerned, we have no such law, and therefore it has not been yet recognized except by the rules of the Supreme Court, which has been guideline, which has been given in different cases. Now, the another question comes, whether a wife who was residing with the live-in partner can now claim the maintenance under the Domestic Violence Act. The answer is yes. She can get the maintenance because they used to live in a shared household. They used to declare themselves as a husband and wife, and they have a long-standing relationship, meaning thereby they have lived for a significant period of time, and therefore the wife is entitled to get the maintenance under the Domestic Violence Act. And for that, there are various specific sections under the Domestic Violence Act which doesn't say that they should be husband and wife. They say that they were used to reside in a shared household, and when that be so, they are entitled for the maintenance and the compensation and other reliefs also. Apart from that, there are various things that like recently Supreme Court in the case of Lalita Topo versus State of Jharkhand held that the victim, that is a wife and a live-in partner, would be entitled to relief under the Act on a shared household. This issue has also been decided by the Supreme Court in favor of wife, which says that yes, she is entitled. And there are various other judgments also in which the Supreme Court has says that they are entitled. Now, there are other legal provisions also, that is the Special Marriage Act and under the Hindu Marriage Act. As per section 16 of the Hindu Marriage Act and section 26 of the Special Marriage Act, right of inheritance of such children is limited to the property of parents only. Legitimacy to the children born out of void and voidable marriages by providing that children born out of marriage which is null and void, or where a decree of nullity is granted in respect of voidable marriage, shall be legitimate or deemed to be legitimate respectively. So this is a completely new era in which we people are entering into, and the Supreme Court and the other high courts and the different trial courts are deciding the case on the fact on the basis of facts. So my conclusion to this kind of thing is this: that whenever a couple start residing in a live-in relationship, they must execute an agreement which must be notarized or registered. That agreement must specify the age of both the parties, and the age of both the parties should be, like a girl, 18 years must have been completed, and for the boy 21 years must have been completed. The party must be consenting and able to make a contract. Not only this, both the parties should be unmarried or properly obtain the divorce from the competent court. If that things will not be there, there are many chances that they may not get the proper reliefs. So if there is any question, and we can come at the question and answer session. If anyone has a question.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for a very enlightening session. I would request anybody from the participants list, if there is any kind of question, sir will be taking that up now. So I saw Hitesh, I think, raised his hand. If there is any question, please let us know. And if you're not comfortable with switching on your mic or camera, you can also put the questions in the chat box.
There is no question.
If there aren't any questions, then I think the session was full of information and insightful, that everybody was clear with what you told us. And I also,
very small, in fact.
Yes, sir.
Facts and facts to facts.
Definitely, sir. And for the fact that it's bringing up now with the cases coming up,
yes.
And I think legislation will also increase. So then I think people will have more doubts and ambiguities relating to it. But I think so it was an amazing session. I learned a lot, and I am so grateful for you to take your time out and
just wait. Good afternoon, sir.
Okay.
Very good afternoon.
Sir, I'm Rashi Khale from Juristelli, and sir, my question is,
yes,
what do you think can be the further steps taken to provide individual involved in the live-in relationship?
I'm not able to get your question. There is. Can you repeat it?
Yes, sir. What do you think can be the further steps taken to provide individual involved in the live-in relationship?
Okay. So in this case, as far as the parties are concerned, they must exit. If you are going to start with the relationship, they must execute a notarized or the registered agreement between the parties. And the other things which I have just told, that the parties must be able to consent, they must be able to give their free consent, they must be at a marriageable age. And thereafter only they can start living together. If any problem is arising, then you can file first application before the concerned police station in the area in which you are residing for getting the police protection. So intimate the police also if you are if a person is a newly wedded couple also. If the police is denying or they are not entertaining your application, then the only remedy available is to approach the Honorable High Court for getting the police protection. As far as the other things are concerned, in live-in relationship, those kind of thing doesn't arise unless the parties mutually reside there. If the parties are consenting and they are residing faithfully to each other, in that case, no problem arises. But when the problem arises, in that case, there are litigations. Most of the time, the people think that instead of, because we have not performed the marriage, because we want to live the life peacefully, and therefore they leave each other. They don't want to go ahead with the relationship, and they end there. But sometimes it prolonged. It goes to the courts also. Sometimes it goes to the criminal courts also. Sometimes it goes to the civil litigations also. And as far as the Supreme Court's guidelines, there is no guidelines up till now from the legislatures.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. I have one question for you.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about laws on love jihad? We are seeing right now states like UP is going to make a law on love jihad. So is it not a threat to a community who lives in live-in relationship in this country?
It is indirectly, yes. Indirectly, it is there. That there is a threat. Most of the time, it has been happened that both the couple have started living together. They file an application under the Special Marriage Act, and that also takes 30 days to grant application. But for 30 days, they need protection. They start living together at a particular place. What has been happening that when either party says that I don't want to marry, suppose, but in that case the police was not able to take any action against the husband or the boy or the family. But now, under the guards of this act, the police and the authority will be able to book the boy or his relative, saying that you have tried or attempted to convert the person or the girl. Ultimately, that's the only law I can understand, because earlier, as far as this marriage is concerned, there are many people who are residing together. They are continue with their own faith. Even if they are changing their faith, it is not a law and order problem. It's a personal choice.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. It was very great to hear you on this
Thank you.
platform, and we would like you to come more often.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for this amazing session. Now I would request all the participants to please go on this link and share their reviews with us. And we will be really grateful. And we will also be providing you with the certificates. And thank you so much, sir. We hope that we are able to get more such knowledgeable and insightful sessions with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.